Hello, my lovelies, 'tis I, your chronically ill loudmouth, here to help save you from homeschooling. Or I guess everyone's calling it distance learning. I, unlike the majority of you, have been preparing for this event my entire life. I was homeschooled from kindergarten to 12th grade, and I am chronically ill, so I have missed plenty of classes. However, I have not failed a single one. Yeah, not failed a single one. I had to check. Now let's begin. Here are my top 10 tips for distance learning. Okay, so I have one thing I want to say before we get way too into this. These are my top 10 tips as a disaster person, how to be a disaster who actually gets things done. Number 1. Recognize that a lot of it's gonna be different. So I've been seeing a lot of comments and really funny videos on TikTok about how we're just basically moving our classrooms to online. Classes are going to look different, no matter if you're a high school student or if you're a college student. Learning from a computer takes more initiative from you as a student to be on top of things, to actively want to learn, which I know is hard. I'm not a science gal, I'm a social science gal. But if you want your grades to survive, then you need to be prepared and ready. It's not going to be what you expect. Some professors appear to be adding more work, but really what they're doing is trying to accommodate to make sure that they get their objectives covered. Each professor and teacher and curriculum is going to be different, and each is going to require a different thing from you as a student. And that doesn't even account for the Stone Age professors who haven't even seen a computer since they've gotten down to this side. We're gonna need a lot of patience. With a lot of classes starting up next week, it's really important that we come into our online courses with the expectation that there's going to be a learning curve. Another thing you need to recognize is that being at home, trying to get schoolwork done can make you stir crazy. Expect it to happen, prepare for a way to avoid it, and then prepare for how to fix it. Number 2, do not give complaining all of your energy. This sucks. I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't. However, you cannot give complaining all of your energy because then you'll just complain and then the classes will keep on going and you'll be lost. Also, it's not healthy to pretend that everything is hunky-dory because it's not. It's annoying, it's frustrating, there are problems. So what you need to do, dear student, is give complaining 5 minutes, an hour, Sundays, just a certain amount of time to complain. I really recommend doing the complaining with other people who can empathize with you, and then you all can complain and then get to work. So in honor of that, let's complain for 5 seconds. As soon as it's out of your system, move on. It's gone. It's stealing you. You don't need to give it your time or energy anymore. It'll take a couple different complaining sessions. Like I said, Sundays can be a great day to complain. No, actually not Sundays, because Sundays are day before school starts. Saturdays are pretty good. Friday nights are the best to complain. Number 3, keep track of time. Time is not real. It is an illusion, a concept. Okay, I really don't know all the details of like the time not being real thing. The issue is classes are. Class times are, assignment times are, and time doubles in importance when it's online. I know this sounds weird, and I don't mean watch your watch all the time or your phone. What you need to do is keep track of time by keeping your habit. Your body and your mind are prepared to learn when you've done certain things. This is where we have our rituals. Even if it's sleeping until 5 minutes before a class and then running across campus, you had a small workout there. If you're used to taking a shower, putting on makeup, finding a whole outfit before school, then do things to copy those behaviors so then your brain is ready to learn just as much as it would as if you were at campus going to a classroom. Trick your brain into working when you want it to work. So find ways to keep track of what day it is and what time it is. Number 4, get clean. I'm not saying that you stink. I'm just saying that being dirty, wearing the same clothes all the time, is not conducive to learning, particularly when you are at home. While that whole thing about homeschoolers doing homework in their pajamas is absolutely true, it is important to note to change said pajamas. Wash your face, brush your teeth, keep being functional. It is so easy to forget hygiene when you're not going out in the world. Keeping a hygiene schedule can help you create a clean mindset to go into school. Number 5, Make sure to talk to your family and or roommates about what you need. In my family, my loud sibling is normally at work when I come home to study. That is a conversation I have already had to have. While I'm down here recording this episode, my mom is upstairs working on her assignments for her classes. We've had to have conversations about what we need academically and also socially. It's important to not only talk about your needs, but how to communicate those needs. Some of us have midterms to come back to once they get back online, and that stress is not conducive to testing. One of my really good friends got me this for my birthday this summer, and it says, "Do not disturb, writer at work." I have had conversations with my family, and when I put this on the door, they know that I cannot be disturbed. We have asked my mom to send out a text message when she's recording lectures. We have found shortcuts to express our needs in the moment without having to go into an in-depth family conversation. Also, I would not be a communication student if I didn't mention our social needs. We are social beings. We need to socialize. And for many of us, our family members just became our apocalypse buddies. In order to have a peaceful household to be able to do your work successfully, you need to be able to address the needs of the family. It's not just about you anymore. Schedule time to hang out, play video games, or watch a movie. Number 6, get lit. Okay, I know, really bad pun, but seriously, find some natural light. The nice thing about this quarantine for the majority of us is that we're not stuck in one specific area. It's not storming outside, our doors are not boarded. You can open a window and find some natural light. Natural light can be so beneficial for your education. When you can, if you can, find the natural light that you have. If you don't have access to natural light, then I recommend buying some in one of your trips to get toilet paper. Also, if you are able, get outside. Maintain social distance, but try to get some fresh air. Remember, we're trying to ward off the stir crazy. Protect those vitamin D levels, people. Number 7, connect with professors. I know, this is something that you're told all the time anyway, but seriously, if you have questions, contact your professors. Make sure you're patient, make sure you're kind, but ask them the questions you have. Be honest. Say, I'm having an issue with this particular area. If you are honest and open with them, given a reasonable amount of time, most professors will see you as a student who's taking initiative in your own education. It's okay to not know some of the answers. As long as you're being polite, as long as you're reaching out to them in a kind manner, use your professors because that's what they're there for. Number 8, connect with your classmates. Again, another thing you hear from freshman year, now is the time to connect with your classmates. If your class is not meeting online, then use that time to talk with your classmates. Honestly discuss the content, and that can actually help you find better questions to ask your professors. It also helps to teach the content that you're learning. Distance learning can feel so lonely, so make sure you protect those connections. If you don't know anyone in your class, try looking up the roster. Most universities offer a roster of who's in the class with their email. You may not know who they are, they may not know you, but send them an email. We're all really freaked out right now. This is the part where you recognize you are a disaster, but you're going to be a successful disaster. So connect with other successful disasters. Number 9, do the brain work. Ow, that really hurt. What I mean by doing the brain work is that you don't have to be sitting at your desk reading the content, writing an outline while you work on the homework. A lot of people don't take advantage of their own brain's capacity to think things through. I've planned many papers by doing my makeup, or cutting roses, or sitting out on the front porch. Authors like Brandon Sanderson explain that you're working as long as you're thinking things through. And sometimes it helps to get moving to be able to think things through. We're in the second half of the semester, you have lots of papers, complex projects, and sometimes your brain just gets stuck. So it's important to be able to step away, let your brain process while you get moving. It also saves time when you finally do get to sit down and start writing everything up, because you've done the brain work. Another benefit to doing the brain work is that you feel more productive when you're writing. Now, caution here, do not procrastinate, but do enough of the brain work and you don't have to use so much time to get the project done. Number 10, have fun. Yes, COVID-19 is scary. The coronavirus feels like it's going to kill us all. We can't go anywhere. We can't do what we wanted to do. However, we have the opportunity to have fun and make memories in ways that we didn't expect. Stepping away from school, stepping away from our stresses can help you become a better student. Stay connected with your friends from school. One of my siblings recently hosted an online dinner party, dressed up in everything. The nice thing about this quarantine is that the majority of us are not sick. We're not stuck inside, we're not locked away from zombies. We have the opportunity to do things. If you're home with your families, take the opportunity to enjoy your siblings for a little bit, or your parents, or your grandparents, or whoever you live with. And not to get sappy, but this time together can be a really big blessing. Provide you memories that you wouldn't have had before. So treasure them. And we are done. Being stuck at home in a single space can be very, very frustrating. And being frustrated doesn't help your education. As silly as some of these tips may be, they really do come from my experience as a frequent distance learner. All right, don't kill your siblings, have fun, try not to stress, do well. See you next week.